I'm Rentanglo Shituri. I am a teacher and an author as well, and I am also a member of the Nagaland Chamber Choir.
I am Reverend Dr. Pongsing Konyak, former General Secretary of Nagaland Baptist Church Council.
My name is Sashi, and I teach at Oriental Theological Seminary.
Hi, my name is John Monsang. I'm 38 years old. I'm a wedding photographer by profession and a fitness enthusiast.
Hi, my name is Esther Verma and I am a journalist. I've been in this field for almost 15 years now. I did my mass communication, so I thought that would be the best option for me is journalism, and here I am working with Nagaland News Network now as the Chief Operating Officer.
Hi, I'm Seku and I work as a freelance research and storytelling consultant. When it comes to research, my work mostly involves around youth, women and sexual and reproductive health and rights. And when it comes to storytelling, I mostly work with leaders from Global South on crafting personal stories.
Okay, hi, I am Hewasa Lauren King, currently serving as the principal of Tetsuo College.
Three things that stood out for me this year were, the first one I would say was the state election. Because before the state election, we've been talking as Naga community. We've been talking about clean election, and the church was also, I would say, very much engaged in making people aware how important it is to have clean election. And not just the church, but even institutions like Oriental Theological Seminary, we were also involved in this clean election movement. But then when it came, we saw still the same kind of ugly businesses going on. People love for money was just out there for everybody to see. And that means corruption will still be around in the state. I do agree with people who say that this clean election theme is something that will take time for people to really understand and practice. But also I'm just disheartened and frustrated that something as important as bringing right government, having good governance in our state for our people, that kind of subject, common people cannot understand. So that's one frustration I have looking back this year. The second thing is the Manipur crisis. This crisis in Manipur is multi-layered, and it's a very complex conflict. But so sad to see how humans can be violent, how we can be irrational and inhuman. And the surprising thing is the Prime Minister Modi just remaining silent. And I think even the Nagas should learn something from that, from that silence of the Prime Minister, I think. Today in Manipur, Kukis are living in the hill areas, and the Métis are in Imphal Valley. They're living as two separate people groups. And the matter seems to be very, it has become cold. And I wonder when it will erupt again. But also in the midst of this conflict, I also see people wanting to help one another, people rallying for peace. And the thing that comforts me is Oriental Theological Seminary again, along with Forum for Naga Reconciliation, working together, reaching out to the displaced people, the refugees, and giving first aid, trauma counseling, and so that the human warmed heart comforts me a lot, even in this midst of conflict.
One of the memorable events or activities I came across in 2023 is my visit to Manipur. During this Manipur crisis, many people did not like to go to Manipur, but I got invited, and I was the lone speaker in the Manipur Peace Conference organized by Manipur Baptist Convention. So I prayed to God and I went there, and I had a very, very exciting time mingling with so many peace activists from Manipur area, and we had a wonderful time, and I came back. Well, since essentially I'm from the church and I involved in preaching activities, so this year has been a very, very productive year for me. I got a number of opportunities to reach out to different groups of people, different churches. So I was involved in preaching activities, particularly in the northern part of Nagaland, and also some part of Arunachal Pradesh, and also Assam, and even Manipur. So I've been actively engaged in these activities.
The third thing that comes to my mind is the endemic of dengue fever. I think the whole summer, maybe starting from July till October, Nagas were running around searching for blood. I think the state government, specifically the health department, should learn lessons from this year's endemic. They should not deny it or run from the responsibility. But I want to see in 2024 the health ministry taking active part, in sanitizing, fogging areas, and making sure that mosquitoes are not breeding here and there. I mean, it's just surprising to see in the 21st century people suffering from disease caused by mosquitoes. I think we should be able to tackle this.
I think 2023 was a time when I felt that the healthcare system was getting exhausted over here in Nagaland. And I'm saying this in a professional way, but again, personally also, I think it really affected me in such a way that our healthcare system is quite in the lower ranks of compared to other northeastern states. So especially during the dengue cases, if you remember, that time I think every household had 1 or 2 dengue cases, and the hospitals were all exhausted of rooms. There was no blood, for donation happening because all the blood banks and all that were getting all exhausted. So I think personally, I feel that was what stood out for me professionally and personally as well. And since my mom also was infected with dengue, and seeing it outside while I was working, doing field work during reporting the cases and the deaths that were occurring, it was quite scary also personally. Another thing that stood out in connection to this is also that a lot of people, strangers, were helping out strangers in getting requirements for blood especially, or just pulling some strings here and there for rooms. I noticed that was one aspect, especially here in Dimapur. that a lot of people were helping each other out without even knowing who they are, or there were really good stories that came out of it also, I feel. Yeah.
So in the year 2023, for us educators, I think what stood out for us has been trying to restabilize post the pandemic. The challenges of reopening and dealing with students who have been so used to, say, online education, and teachers also to the online mode, and also to the hybrid practice of having both online and in-person classes, and restructuring our systems so that maybe we can integrate some of the best practices of the pandemic, the online mode of teaching, and integrating it into the in-person classroom teaching learning process. I think that has been quite an experience. We have still been able to use, for example, Google for Education tools, and we're trying to take advantage of all those learnings to harness the level of teaching and learning that can happen in a much more stronger manner now that we are fully reopened. So I think restabilizing and getting the kind of response that we would like from students who have stayed indoors for so long, who've had to self-study, and who've sort of had the luxury of time and the luxury of their own space, having to bring all these students and teachers together to be able to overcome that kind of attitude, that kind of habit that has settled in, has been one of the challenges, one of the obstacles, I think, of 2023. And alongside with that, I think we've had the National Education Policy coming in to introduce practical learning, skill education, vocational, professional courses to make learning much more practical oriented, where education is not just about taking a degree away, or it's not just about rote learning or about theories, but practical implementation so that we are able to develop graduates who are ready to face the real world.
By the grace of God, the year 2023 has been really productive for me. I'm also a member of the Nagaland Chamber Choir, and then we got the opportunity to participate in the World Choir Games 2023 held at Gangneung, South Korea. And with the support of many well-wishers and government agencies, we were able to go and participate. Not only participate, but we also won 2 gold medals in both the events that we participated in. So I think this is a validation that Nagas are also capable, provided we have the opportunities and of course the financial support to pursue our dreams. And I am also currently working as a postgraduate English teacher at Delhi Public School, Dimapur. So on the professional front, the highlight of this year perhaps would be having the opportunity to learn under Madam Urvashi Budalaya, the editor of Zuban Publications. This particular workshop was initiated by the Human Resource Development Center of Delhi Public Society.
2023 was a year of great highs and great lows as well. It has been a blessing from God, and what stood out the most for me was the birth of my daughter in April. And besides that, athletically speaking, I was able to take part in my first Ironman 70.3 in Goa, and by God's grace, I was able to complete it. So that would be the 2 highlights of 2023. The event, the Ironman is an international event, It happens across 50 plus countries, I believe. So you have two main events in Ironman. The one I did is called the 70.3. 70.3 is the total number of miles. So if you convert it to kilometers, it's 113 kilometers, I believe. So it would consist of 1.9 kilometers of swimming in open water, that is in the sea, followed by 90 kilometers of cycling and a half marathon, which is 21 kilometers.
One project that really stood out for me this year was my work with an organization called The Moth, where we work with leaders from Global South on crafting personal stories. Just being in those spaces in different countries and working with leaders on just sharing something as simple as their personal story has been such a life-changing experience that when I come back home, I want to listen to my elders even more and collect all these stories, especially as Nagas who come from a history of oral traditions. It has really made me value where I come from even more. And therefore, I feel like when I go to work, I'm bringing this at work, but when I come back home, I'm also bringing my work home into really encouraging one another to share our stories and to listen to each other.
I wish you all well for the coming year 2024. Have a blessed year ahead.
I would like to convey, first of all, Happy New Year to all the Naga people, and at the same time, I would like to appeal the Naga people to speak the truth and work hard.
Well, I want to wish you all Happy New Year, Happy 2024, and I want all of us to come together in one mind as Nagas and walk together this year and try to be positive and try to bring development and transformation in our lives.
I would like to wish everyone, the family of Murung Express and everyone who subscribed to it and the state, everyone as a whole, whoever is watching, a very happy and prosperous new year. May you work towards your goals. May God be always with you, and looking forward to it. Yeah.
Here's wishing everyone a very happy new year. I hope this year brings you more opportunities, joy, happiness, and most importantly, good health and wealth. Let's make this year a positive one.
Wishing everyone a very happy new year and a prosperous 2024.
Happy New Year! May you eat well, pray well, and sleep well.